We're River Sang Wild, and you're watching Music Alive North Shore on BevCam.
Welcome to Music Alive North Shore, your in-home live concert cable TV show. My name is Paul Norman, and I'm your host. For those of you who've seen the show before, you know that we feature some of the North Shore's best bands, bringing them right into your home for your listening pleasure. Today, we're lucky to be joined by River Sang Wild, one of North Shore's new bands that feature a bit of distortion with a persona of groovy pop. So sit back, relax, or get up and dance to the cool tunes of River Sang Wild. Let's see what you got, boys.
All right, guys. Well, River Sang Wild. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a single we got out on Spotify and Apple Music. So if you guys like it, please go check us out. It's called Love Train.
Racing, knocking at you off my mind.
door slams again, like so many times before. For you to come back in, stars seems to help once more. And I feel like I could lose my mind for the last time. I say you love me, 'cause I don't want this night to end. I'm trying to fight it, wait for you to let me. Thank you guys for sticking around. This next one's called What's Left of You. Took a ride to run away from me tonight. Rip it off like a Band-Aid one last time. But the little bit of me left inside say you're not worth this and take back my life. All right, thank you guys for listening still. This next one's a little more mellow, and it's called Midnight Lights. I've been listening now, you know. A broken heart's a thing a man cannot control. Laying out in the middle of the night, baby. Holding out by myself, trying to figure out what to say. Starting to feel like a destiny. Oh, I know. It's probably something I said that wanna get so attached to me. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's nothing you dare. Turn around, baby. Turn around, baby. No, I'll be waiting on the other side. Hold me now, baby. Listen for a little while. Take me out to All right, this next one we're going to play is another one we just put out actually a couple weeks ago. It's out on Apple Music and Spotify. And if you guys like what you're hearing, please go check us out at riversangwild.com and like us on social media. Do us a big help. We got our Facebook, Instagram, Venmo is on there if you want to support us. This one's called Rewind.
See what's on your mind. I know it's hard and you just can't find the time. You got a lot on your mind, a lot on your mind, and it's alright. I had it out and you need to find a way off of miles, and I pray you don't stay. You got a lot on your mind, a lot on your mind, and it's alright. It's a hell of a way to die. You got a lot on your mind, a lot on your mind, and that's alright. Nothing else, I don't need no other sign. Just the days to the rest of our lives. And I wanna make it right. I wanna take this life. I wanna take this life. What I she loved me good. Nobody ever done me like she done me. Ooh, she done me. She done me good. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm in love for the first time. Don't you know it's gonna last? It's a love that lasts forever. It's a love that has no past. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Nobody ever loved me like she loved me. Ooh, she loved me. She loved me good. Nobody ever done me like she done me. Ooh, she loved me. She done me good. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Thank you guys again for listening. Once again, River Sang Wild. We got Brad Hartwick on the bass, Harrison Foti on the drums, and I'm Dan McCarthy. This one's called The River. Coming I'll talk to yourself this time, 'cause I don't really need it. Lay it on down like a minefield, conveniently stringing me along the entire way. You're breaking my heart, baby. Baby, this time I heal. Baby, this time I heal now. And you say, it's all fine now. And I'm out on your mind now. And I say to the river, oh, when you left that night. And the river sang wild. And I went for midnight right now. I don't need you. Call me on the way down, baby, now. 'Cause I was falling for you. Call me on the way down, baby, now. 'Cause I was falling for you. Call me on the way down. I realized you didn't care. Shoot me right down to the bone. When I realized I was alone, yeah. I got my dazed in the eyes and paralyzed in what you said to me. And now series of all the lies from every time you try to change me. You left the stage 'cause took the man out of me, yeah. Took the man out of me, yeah.
This next one's called Bloodlines.
Bloodlines cauterized in a loving way. Headlights, headlights, wasting miles away. I've got the gas trying to find our way. You can come if you want, just let me know you'll stay. Waking up in the same old town. Get me out of here somehow. I'd let somebody just to leave again. Say the lines on your eyes from the kitchen floor. Burn marks on your heart from the slamming door. Nothing to in life, I've had enough. Another bottle of pride to hold it in my gut. Waking up in the same old town. Get me out of here somehow. I'd let somebody just to leave again. Gotta get it out. Getting free somehow. Gotta let it out. Yeah, just shut your mouth. Gotta get right out. Gotta let it out. Getting out right now. No disgrace in your mother's eyes. I'm sick of telling your lies. And it weighs on you and the bloodlines, baby.
Hi, this is Paul Norman. I'm here on the set of the Music Alive North Shore with River Sang Wild. Wow, did we just hear a fantastic set by these guys? And we're going to talk with them a little bit about their musical influences and what they how they have become so good and well known in the region. Great show, guys. Thanks so much for putting on a hot set for us.
Well, thanks for having us.
I hope we didn't scare anybody away.
Yeah, hopefully.
No, you guys were rocking and rolling, and it was perfect. One of the things that I find interesting with younger bands is to hear a little bit about your background, how you came on the scene, how you got to know each other. I understand that Harrison, you and Brad have worked together for a number of years in different bands. Is that right?
Oh yeah, and we're already sick of each other.
Okay, well, we're gonna.
And then we just decided to move in together. I don't know why.
We're just gonna hit into it hard.
I guess so, but yeah, we were in a band before this one called Victim of Circumstance. It was a trio, and him and I came from that, and that band happened to disperse in 2020, in about June of 2020, and about a couple of months later, I was just like trying to figure out what the heck was going on. I was like taking fill-in gigs and stuff like that, and then Brad just randomly was just like, hey, why don't we get this?
Hey man, I still just want to play.
Yeah.
Why aren't we just playing? Quick, get somebody together. Let's throw it together.
And we knew Danny from the past because we played with his last band, or he's still in that 43 Church Street is another band that he's in, and we ended up getting to know them over the 3.5 years or so that the last band of ours was together. And he just mentioned one day, he's just like, hey, why don't we get Danny and see if he wants to come over and jam sometime and like get something together, you know?
So that was back in right when the pandemic hit in the summertime?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you weren't afraid of getting together and infecting each other? You just said, we'll deal with whatever the outcome is and let's make some music.
Yeah.
Didn't really even.
We're like, we're on the
to
phone.
stay home anyways.
Hey, you sneezing? No? Okay, we're good.
All right, let's go.
Even if you are, get here.
Let's go.
So what do you think, Danny, when these guys called you up? It was...
I was like, oh, jeez. No, I was pumped. I was pumped, and I was like, let's go up there, let's do something. So here we are. We went up, we started jamming, and we didn't even know if it was gonna click. I mean, we had played together a couple times, but you don't know if it's gonna actually work in a project. So we just jammed for a little while, and then it seemed to be working. We said we were gonna have a conversation about if it was clicking or not. We never really did. We just started booking gigs. So I guess that was a yes.
Yeah. All right. That's cool.
When we got together too, we didn't really go like, oh, we're going for this sound, right?
No,
it just kind of like whatever
happens.
Pick some songs to play, and whatever is written, and play that until we get sick of it, and then move on.
Well, that's kind of interesting because you've had different bands that you've come from, different styles that you sort of were used to. Was 43 Church very different than what these guys were doing in The Victim of Circumstances?
Yes and no. I mean, it was definitely different. We did a little more mellow music, a little more poppier style music, but we did do some rock and some
there was
Zeppelin.
like some hard.
There was some cross. There was some cross, but it was we didn't. We had a little more of a we move a little bit more in and out of different styles, whereas they kind of had their style and they did it.
And he kind of had you had a dual vocal thing too with a female vocalist,
female and a male vocalist, so that was kind of a nice little change. So,
so in terms of artists that have influenced you over your career, everything that you're doing now has had some. You can look back to people that you emulated, people that you really enjoyed. And is there any bands, artists that, Brad, you found to be really influential in terms of helping shape your musical style?
Ooh, well, just a quick rundown. Okay, so first musical acknowledgement of me going, wow, it actually makes sense, was, of all things, Australian Pink Floyd on TV. It was like some weird Access TV thing. I was like,
no,
okay.
Access TV isn't weird. Just for the record.
No, but it was just like, what? For whatever reason, I remember seeing it and going like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. It was like maybe like 6 years old or something like that. So I was like, okay, got into music, kind of progressed through that. Then high school, played saxophone first before doing bass, and then bass just happened because my brother played guitar, and I was like, oh, well, I got to do something, so wound up playing bass, trickled forward, did all the school band stuff, like
jazz band too.
Yeah, like the creme de la creme of Alvern High School.
Yeah, these guys go all the way back to the high school days.
Oh, yes.
So Harrison, what about you? Have there been any artists that have had a significant impact on you, and who have they been?
Definitely, like as far back as I can remember. Well, I mean, like I definitely like pay respects to my father too, because he is a guitar player and he kind of was the musician in the family, and he got me into music, and he was just like trying to figure out what I would stick to, and I just happened to stick to the drums, and
Because he taped your hands to the sticks.
yeah, actually, it was
videos of it.
It was real child abuse. But he was really into Rush, and I got brought up on Rush and watching Neil Peart, and he's huge influence of mine, especially from early on, and then Dennis Chambers, sort of more funk fusion type guy, and he incredible. I still like watch his stuff today. And then like fast track throughout the years, I kind of like went through this weird metal phase in middle school, and unmentionable.
It was not a good time.
Not a good oh, Mika Mesa. But it was like metal in middle school and early high school, and then it kind of like flourished into more of like a rock thing, like classic rock and whatnot. And I listened to a lot of more alternative stuff, like the Black Keys, Arctic Monkeys, and I mean any bands that are sort of in that realm now. I had a huge kick with like Soundgarden and Matt Cameron, the drummer of Soundgarden, like still one of my favorite drummers of all time to this day. But like I've kind of done this with music styles, so I've kind of like grown to appreciate a lot of different things, I think.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about how you compose the music that we heard today. Is this a collaborative effort? Where do these ideas sort of come from, Danny? Why don't you talk a little bit about sort of the composition process?
It's definitely collaborative. I mean, I think I come with a lot of the, maybe not all, but a lot of the ideas that we have. You know, the songwriting, the melody, and the chord structure. But then once these guys get a hold of it, it becomes a whole new animal. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of probably starts with just an acoustic guitar and a mumbling of words that is a melody, and then all of a sudden I bring it over here and it becomes this thing, and then it takes me way too long to put lyrics to it. And
I think my favorite is when you show us it and you're like a little tentative and you're like, wow, I thought you would have actually hated that.
Yeah, that's how a lot of it goes.
Actually do
that's
that.
how a lot of it goes.
So it's the lyrics that come last.
Generally? Not generally. I mean, if it hits, it hits. But I don't. If I have to sit down and do it, it's probably not going to happen for a while.
Okay.
Well, the song "Love Train" that we put out back in
Yes.
January, when you first wrote that was more of like a
acoustic, and it was.
It had like a more of a poppy backbeat to it, and then it kind of got switched up.
My favorite thing was the synth in the back.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's just me in my bedroom with a piano, and that's how everything happens.
Yeah. Well, it was.
But it's.
I remember
yeah.
we were sitting in your truck outside of like Wegmans, I think, in like Burlington when you showed us.
Yeah, and I was
Wegmans.
like, I got to show you
Or
the song.
Wegmans, whatever. Same thing.
I think Brad's gonna hate it. I have to show you this song. And Brad was the biggest champion.
Yeah.
That's great. So I'd also like to hear a little bit about, how what songs you've released. Tell me a little bit about what's out there for your fans to listen to, and any plans for doing some recording in the future.
All right. Well, I think right now we only have 2 songs out. Most recently was Rewind, which is definitely a more upbeat pop type of thing, which is honestly really cool, but still hits hard. I would like to say that. That was early July.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Whenever you see this, it was July or something like that. And then Love Train came out in January.
Yeah, it was January.
Yeah, January. Which is kind of funny because we really started like an entire year prior to that, and it took us an entire year to get a solid recording out, which is nice. But you know what? Here we are. And then talking about future recording, that about every 3 months or so that we've been booking time at this really great studio, Mad Oak Studio, down in Alston, Mass.
Producer
Okay.
Benny Grotto. He's
Yeah.
the man.
So we've been slowly chipping away at that. But, startup band, we gotta really work to pocket the money to do it. So we've only been able to bite off here and there, and that's why it took so long for the first one, because we really needed to like actually acquire stuff through gigging, and couldn't just pay out of pocket. So Slow and steady.
Well, it's interesting. Gigs really are the backbone for getting you guys and other new bands started and in the right direction with recording. Tell me a little bit about some of the gigs that you've had that have been memorable ones, either because of the location you played, the audience, the group you played with.
I think for me at least, I think it was April. Yeah, mid-April. One of my favorite gigs that we've ever done was at this place called Blue Ocean Music Hall in Salisbury, and that was we were opening up for a band called Fortune, and those guys are freaking awesome. Definitely suggest you go check out their stuff if you get a chance. But we opened up for them there, and ended up being a sold out crowd. It was about, I think it was like 500 people or so. So that was definitely the biggest crowd, like listening crowd that we've played in front of. So that was very memorable
And
for
they
me.
didn't
But
boo us, so
that's
that must have
luckily
been something. Either they didn't pay attention enough, or they actually
No,
liked it. I don't know.
you got to pay attention to you guys. You guys capture your interest immediately.
But yeah, that one, and I honestly really like a lot of the Boston shows, like in Cambridge at the Middle East. It's kind of like this smaller, like almost sort of grungy club, but it's awesome. It's been there forever. And
Well, yeah, what is the room we played called? The Corner.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a corner.
the smallest stage we've ever probably played on, but we
Hey,
make
it
work.
works. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Some of the nights are pretty fun, and there's a window behind you, so it's like usually you have like something blocking in the back. Nope, it's a window, so
Wow.
you get all the crazies. Anybody that wants to come by, it is perfect. So it's a really good time there. I think Breakaway is also pretty fun. I
Breakaway
enjoy
is always my favorite.
Absolutely.
I'm very close to the people at Breakaway. They've always been real good to me. Got in there with 43 Church Street early on, and Brian Mays. Worked with him for a lot of years.
Well, technically too, that's kind of where we met at the Brian Mays.
Yeah, the Brian Mays open
where
mic.
we-
That's actually
yeah.
where we met.
Oh, really?
I didn't. That's
Yeah,
actually
how many years ago?
That
Too
was
many?
That was 2017.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But I've been working with Brian for a long time. He's helped me tremendously. So he introduced me to Kook Lowry, another North Shore native who totally transformed my guitar playing.
Lives up to the
So
name.
Brian got me in with Barry Gaudreau. We work with the Engine Room.
Oh,
tuning
that's
guitars with
fantastic.
them.
You
So,
talk about
know,
some real North Shore all-stars.
North
Greater
Shore
Boston.
legends.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I mean, this is such a hotbed, for a young group to be able to have had some of those people as mentors.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been accelerated the growth and development of your styles significantly.
I met the
Absolutely.
guys from Fortune through Brian, which is how we got the gig because I knew them.
Yep.
For Blue Ocean, so he's
Good word
been
here and there goes a long way.
Good word goes a long way.
Okay, that's great. So how can your fans find out a little bit about what's going on with upcoming gigs, how they can see you live, and keep track of what River Sang Wild is up to?
I'd say, well, we just started a website probably I think when Love Train came out, so in January. So if you go to www.riversangwild.com, you can find all of our music, our shows, videos, and all that kind of stuff on there. We post pretty regularly too on Instagram and Facebook. You'll see us kind of post our list of shows for the year on certain posts and whatnot. So
Yeah, it's a little more intimate than a website where you can't respond to people. It's just like, oh, here's info, and people can do what they want. But Facebook or Instagram, you can actually interact.
yeah, and we
So
post.
that's kind of cool.
We post weekly too, where we're playing. So
Oh, fantastic.
As long as you're up to you check out our page even once a week, you'll be able to figure out where we are and what we're doing. So,
All right. Well, I would encourage everybody to check out this page at least once a week. I want to thank you guys for coming in today and entertaining us with your talent. I am constantly amazed by some of the younger bands who have not been playing that long and have really been able to create their own style and following. And thanks so much for entertaining us with this great set tonight.
Absolutely.
Paul,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having us. Seriously.
You're welcome. So look forward to this show coming out and future Music Alive North Shore shows coming out on your local access cable station, also on the Music Alive North Shore YouTube channel, and I'm sure you'll see some of the clips on the River Sang Wild music channel. So take care and have a good night.
He